They come into the gym, they do a few sets of cable curls and lateral raises, get jacked because of the PEDs, and then blow up as a social media fitness expert. That's not fitness. That's a lie. That's the facade of fitness. But it has nothing to do with actually being fit. Enkiri here, and today I want to discuss the dichotomy of looking fit versus actually being fit. Now, this is not an absolute mutually exclusive dichotomy because one absolutely can both look fit and be fit. That's a pretty self-evident concept. But what's not quite as self-evident is the fact that oftentimes people who look fit, especially ones who are prominently featured on social media, are actually not fit. And people who don't look all that fit can oftentimes actually be incredibly fit. And one need look no further than many professional athletes to see this distinction at play. So there is an oftentimes very clear-cut dichotomy here, right? Which leads me to what I believe is the most important question of all. And that question is... And just real quick, guys, if you're in the market for a top-notch meal prep company, then be sure to check out Flex Pro Meals and use code Enkiri Elite for 20% off your order. The link is in the description. The food's legit. It usually arrives in just a couple days. They have a bunch of different high-protein meal options, and it's a really easy and convenient way to help keep your diet and your macros on track. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program. And that question is, what do you guys actually want? The people for who the information and content is intended to benefit. What do you guys actually want from it? What do you want to be able to get out of it? What do you want to be able to achieve by using it? Do you just want to look fit, or do you actually want to be fit? Because if you actually want to be fit and you are watching information being put out by people who only look fit, then there is a very real disconnect at play here that needs to be addressed. So with all that in mind, I took a poll on my channel this past week, kind of hinting at this idea, looking fit versus being fit, by asking you guys what your goals in the gym are. I didn't want to taint the results of the poll by asking the question directly, so I asked it indirectly instead. And I'll be honest, I was a little bit surprised by the results. I thought that the pursuit of mass and aesthetics, above all else and regardless of anything else, kind of looking fit without necessarily having to be fit, was going to be the clear-cut winner. But it turns out that it wasn't even close. That actually came in third behind the pursuit of overall fitness, in second place, at least on my channel, and then general strength and muscle mass came in first place. And I was honestly pleasantly surprised at the percentage of people who picked overall fitness, because I honestly thought that goal, which is where my own personal proclivities lie, would be kind of frowned upon as an endeavor by the masses. And this is what we can kind of consider as the pursuit of being fit without necessarily looking fit, right? Fitness, my nose is itchy. Fitness without any real concern for aesthetics. So building your body up by building up your array of physical capacities and then letting the chips just kind of fall where they may in terms of the overall aesthetic. So the aesthetic comes secondary to everything else, really. And that made me happy because, like I said, I thought the results of this poll were going to skew very, very differently than they did going into it. But being a well-rounded fitness enjoyer myself, I've always tried to be a vocal advocate for the benefits therein. And I suppose, really, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise that in first place was the pursuit of both general strength and muscle mass. So kind of the best of both worlds in many respects, right? Both being fit as well as looking fit. So these guys want to be strong, but they also actually want to look the part too. And that's fair. And this same sort of sentiment was echoed repeatedly in the comment section of that same poll. Something along the lines of, well, I want to be jacked, but I also want to be able to perform X, Y, and Z physical feats, different physical feats. So I want to look strong, I want to be strong, and I want to be fit as well. It wasn't just feats of strength that were being talked about. It was also feats of conditioning, power, mobility, athleticism, etc., etc. So it seems that really you guys want a little bit of everything, right? A taste from both sides. And again, that's fair and that's valid. I do not knock the pursuit of aesthetics in general, but I do frown upon it as a sole endeavor, as I think that it's something that should be augmented, at the very least, with the pursuit of actual fitness as well. Kind of like how it was in the golden era, right? Even of bodybuilding. It wasn't just a show of looks. There were also physical feats attached to those things as well. They were both shows of looks as well as shows of physical capacity, testing different facets of physical fitness. What really grinds my gears, though, is SARM goblins and freaking gearheads who don't know how to train, don't know how to eat, don't know how to recover, don't know anything about actual fitness. They come into the gym, do a few sets of cable curls and lateral raises, get jacked from the PEDs, and then blow up as a social media fitness expert. That's not fitness. That's a lie. That's the facade of fitness, but it has nothing to do with being fit. Yet, it is unfortunately all too often conflated as such. This sort of thing is prolific across social media and is sold to the unwashed masses as being the best of both worlds, both looking fit and being fit, but the reality is that it only covers the looking fit part, not the actual being fit part. And in my opinion and in my experience, there exists a very large void in terms of content and channels out there in the mainstream social media fitness sphere dedicated to actually helping you guys become fit. Channels to help you look the part are a dime a dozen, but channels dedicated to helping you be the part are saddeningly rare, which means that for whatever reason, there is a gap between what you guys actually want and what you are often getting. And I see this conflation of ideologies from mainstream social media fitness bleeding over into my own channel at predictable times as well. It seems every time I post an image of my physique, which honestly is not something I care to do at all. I do it because you kind of have to every now and then in this game, but every time that I do it, I have to endure comments talking about my lack of a chest. I've been getting them since 2018 now, I guess. That was when I actually started putting stuff out onto YouTube and onto social media. And that was when the no chest comments really started rolling in. And I'll be honest, until I started posting on social media, I truly had no idea that my chest was lacking because I truly didn't give a single shit about its appearance. But boy golly, did people sure let me know very quickly just how flat-chested I am. And now I've had 4 years to rectify the issue. And yet, in spite of 100 comments, 1,000 comments over and over again, I haven't done a damn thing about it. That must mean I truly do not fucking care. Because when I care about something, I tend to get shit done. Now, I mention this because these comments signify to me that something is being lost here. Having a well-developed set of pectoral muscles, big round titties, is very much an aspect of looking fit, but the reality is it has very, very, very little to do with actually being fit. My channel is about being fit, not just looking fit. I don't care about that in and of itself. It does not interest me in the slightest. As I said previously, I come from the school of form following function, right? You do things to make yourself better, and the shape takes on what it will based on those physical capacities that you seek to improve. Not the other way around. The other way around is perverting the logic. The other way around is backwards to me. And I simply cannot and will and do not and will never subscribe to that ideology. Thus, my channel exists, in my mind, to fill that void, to bring the pendulum back to the center, to provide information about how to help you guys be fit, because channels dedicated to helping you simply look fit are already a dime a dozen. Want to know how many times anybody has looked at me in real life and told me that my chest is small? Goose egg, dude. But I get comments talking about how jacked I am every time I step outside my house. You want to know how many times that a member of the opposite sex has told me that my chest is small and that they find my disproportionate physique to be unattractive? Again, goose egg. It seems that the only people who care about the way that my chest looks are men on social media. And to you guys who are obsessed with the size of my chest, do you really think that there is a permutation of reality where I'm gonna basically alter my entire life philosophy because some guys on the internet think that my tits look small? Seriously? But you know what? I can get over all of that. I don't care how ugly anyone thinks my physique is, and I'll even never mind the fact that these comments are literally always coming from a place of insecurity. I can get over all of this because my level of care regarding the theories of aesthetics on social media is very, very low because it's all subjective anyway. What I can't get over, however, is the fact that these comments signify that people are missing the entire point of the philosophy, which means that they are missing the entire point of my channel. And that actually truly makes me sad. By and large, like I kind of mentioned in my community post the other day, I believe that I've attracted a different caliber of individual to this channel. People who appreciate the philosophy for what it is and the value that it confers. However, even then, it seems like the widespread poison that's been, for lack of a better word, that's been spread across social media fitness is simply so virulent that these concepts probably start to bleed together for a lot of people. Even subconsciously, I would bet. You might even believe, some of you, that simply looking fit is being fit. You might think that you're achieving both, when in reality you're probably not, because of the skewed philosophies that are just so rampant on here. Now, in all my time on here, I've done nothing but preach about fitness, actual fitness, and call out what I think is BS. I talk about how to build muscle where it matters, creating a bigger, more formidable human being. I talk about how to build strength and explosiveness, real world strength, explosiveness, athleticism, all that stuff. How to become well conditioned for a myriad of different physical purposes. I preach becoming as well-rounded and physically capable as possible across as many different domains of physicality as possible. And when I think people are giving bad advice or selling you snake oil, I call that BS out too. I walk the walk, right? I don't just run my fucking mouth, but I showcase the physical feats that I perform on a damn near daily or a weekly basis, right? I post training vlogs all the time. I post all the stuff I do on my Instagram as well. What I do is more, in my opinion, is more athletics than it is social media fitness, because social media fitness is just so screwy. I don't even really want to say that I'm a part of it, but what I am doing is so far removed, in my opinion, from bodybuilding ideology and methodology that I can't even really comprehend how anybody conflates the two things. And yet, with all of that, I'm still subjected to comparisons against realms that I don't even partake in. And why is that? Why can that possibly be? I think it's because social media fitness is so perverted. It's backwards. And it absolutely is heavily conflated at this point with bodybuilding. And this flaw is perpetuated damn near indefinitely by content creators who don't know anything really except looking the part and simply pretending to also be the part. But fitness is not bodybuilding. What you see on social media is generally more bodybuilding than it is fitness. And these pervasive ideologies are reflected in comments such as the ones that I get regarding my chest muscles. Bodybuilding is about looking fit, not necessarily about being fit. An important distinction. My channel is not about looking fit. My channel is about being fit. Being fit truly does not necessarily reflect the image that you have been sold by social media fitness, aka low-key bodybuilding. Look at different athletes of all sports and calibers, and you will see some of the fittest people in the world, but you will almost never see the image of fit that is sold to you by social media fitness, because that image has more to do with looking the part than actually being the part. Now, that's not to say that there is zero crossover between the two things, because obviously there's some. So don't bother hitting me with one-off examples of bodybuilders who are actually fit or athletes who look like bodybuilders. You're kind of missing the point if that's where you're going here, because those people are basically exceptions that prove the rule anyway. But just because I bias my training into realms of strength training doesn't mean that I have any desire to subscribe to bodybuilding ideologies, because point blank, I don't. I'll borrow from those methodologies where it suits my own personal particular goals and proclivities, But I will never subscribe to those ideologies in whole, as I basically subscribe to zero ideologies in whole, because I prefer to pick and choose the best bits and pieces of everything in order to create my own optimal thing. And that thing that I'm creating is a comprehensive picture of overall fitness. An individual who can take on pretty much any physical task that they may be confronted with, whether that is one of necessity or one that is undergone by choice for any reason whatsoever. I'm of the mindset that maximizing as many physical qualities as possible to become as well-rounded as possible not only makes life the most fun in general because it sets you apart as physically superior to 99.99% of people that you're ever going to come across, and it makes you a master of your environment, but also because it maximizes quality of life and longevity. These are concepts that I've kind of dove into before, right? I think that maximizing as many attributes as possible is going to give you the best chance of living the longest and healthiest life that you as an individual relative to yourself were going to be able to live. And that's something that I also want for myself. I've talked before about becoming the RPG character with as many stats maxed out as possible in order to be as well-rounded of a character as possible. Now, maxing out multiple stats means that none of the stats will truly be maxed out, right? It means that they will be capped at a certain level that's actually below the ceiling because you're trying to expand the entire circle, not just a line here or a line there or whatever. So you won't be a master of any single domain, but so what? You'll be formidable across all domains and you'll have no glaring weaknesses. That is the goal. So that's an important distinction that needs to be noted. I want to be very clear what the purpose of this channel is. If you want bodybuilding, then go find a bodybuilding channel. There are 10,000 of them. If you want comprehensive fitness, which you guys have now indicated that you do, then stick around and watch my channel. I'm not aware of anybody else who's preaching this same message that I'm preaching. There are some channels and some old school guys who preach a message that has a good bit of crossover to mine. But I do think that the overall product that I'm preaching here is actually quite unique in the industry. And obviously I'm biased, but I think it's far more valuable than most of the other stuff that's out there as well. So let's try to remember what this channel is actually about. If I post a picture of my physique, it's not so that I can be judged as a bodybuilder. It's a means to an end to show that fitness does not have to be some frou-frou concept dominated by yogis and marathon runners. You can be strong and jacked and powerful and athletic and well-conditioned. You just have to train hard and train in a manner that is congruent with those goals. Eat well and do all of those things consistently for a long period of time. That is what my channel preaches, and that is what my channel seeks to teach. Being fit, not just looking fit. And if you're interested in a program that accomplishes just that, check out my Ultimate Performance Manual. That program is my baby. It's designed to help you get jacked, strong, well-conditioned, and monstrously powerful and athletic as well. The best of all worlds, right? I've also got a free hybrid athlete program right here on my YouTube channel, which I will link below in the description for those who are interested. Now, if you enjoy these types of videos or you simply find them informative, please remember to hit the like button and leave me some love in the comments down below before you go. The engagement's really helpful for my channel, guys. If you find the info here helpful and you just want to throw some support my way, be sure to check out EnkiriEliteFitness.com. Grab up one of my training programs. I've sold a few thousand of those over the last several years since I released them, and the gains that people have reported back to me have just been fucking awesome, man. So be sure to grab yours, hop on that gains train. That's all I got for today, guys. Keep training hard. I will catch you guys next time.